消滅、
beads all of a sudden. Do you understand that I like go outside and I have to live with this insane label of something that I didn't do? And
Yeah.
do you understand when you have reporters calling, your family trying to get the latest scoop on you? You have reporters calling friends from 13 years old to try and find something. It's impossible for someone to comprehend the insanity of what they unleashed upon me without experiencing it yourself. But what it makes me realize is that there are truly sick, evil people in the world. and that has given me the ultimate faith that I must defeat them. And I've defeated them on the chessboard, and I'm going to continue to defeat them on the chessboard. And there's no. These people are. Their head is so far up their ass that they could not admit any fault.
Anime protagonist Hans.
What is just going to say? Oh yeah, we lied just on the board. They're gonna make that happen. That would. Or like they went so far and they lied so much that there's simply no way to even like talk, right? There's not even a way. How do you even speak to someone who like just lies, blatantly lies, and then just uses all of their like resources and money and power to just destroy your life? Like there's no discussion to be had.
That's fair enough. I mean, just to be clear, Hans, I'm speaking the truth when I say that I'm not on the anti-cheating team, and I have zero insight into the algorithm. Just like I was not responsible for the VSU ban and did not initiate that. So
that's another thing.
Obviously,
I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is that, like, why was he banned? I really would love to know. I don't understand.
Well,
I would love for. Danya, I have an offer. I will sponsor a match of you against Brandon Jacobson, and if you beat him in an over-the-board match under any circumstances,
with A4 Rook A3 on every game?
Sorry?
With A4 Rook A3 every game?
Okay, to recreate that with your preparation is impossible. But you can.
I haven't looked at the line for more than 5 minutes, Hans. I think the issue was not the fact that.
No. I saw the games you played. You looked at the line. But the thing is, Danya, is that Brandon, as you just saw, beat Pragnanta, and I'm sorry, Brandon's a very.
Convenient Deep Ward. yet. Just throw the entire carton in there.
Very, very strong player, and I
He's a beast,
simply
and
have no
that's
faith
the first
in
thing I
Chess.com player.
conceded. I mean,
Sorry?
I don't think any honest person is arguing that he's an absolute beast. And whether or not he cheated against me, I wish him and you, of course, the best in his chess career. But surely, you know, A4 or K3 is a slight complicating factor in any match. But I don't want to change topics. I want to let you sleep. Go ahead.
Go into conditions that would let you test his strength under any circumstance, and I will sponsor and organize it. And if it is unsatisfactory based on the terms of agree, I will donate $10,000 to charity. Because instead of him being banned and Chess.com not replying to his emails for months, why don't we organize a match just like Jocelyn Minikar did and settle things on the chessboard? Let's not just ignore people and ban them and not actually discuss things. So I will donate 10 grand to charity of your choice. We can agree on the terms, and you can see Brandon's level. We can play 500 games. We can play 100 games, 200 games. Why don't we go over the board? You can even do it on the computer. You can do any experiment you'd like. Any experiment you'd like. And
but Brandon's strength is not disputed by anybody other than haters, and I object to them just as strongly, whether he cheated or not. Surely, as a serious player, Hans, you can understand that starting a game with a -3 position and winning a match by 30 at least is grounds for discussion. Winning a regular match.
No, I think it's grounds for
40.
discussion, but I watched the game. I looked at the games, Danya, and they were really nothing that impressive. And, you know, we are all victims of tilt, and I really think that the due process of Chess.com, and I'm speaking in my experience, I was banned on September 5th or whatever it was, and Chess.com has not given a reason. They've not said we banned him because of this instance or that instance. They banned me during a merger at this time, you know. So, like, to me, I don't understand how you can take Chess.com seriously in any respect when they just blatantly lie in the Chess.com report. And like, it's just like the Chess.com report is probably the most embarrassing. Okay, one more thing, just to put the nail in the coffin. In the report, they quote Ken Reagan. It's just in the report, Ken Reagan is quoted, and he literally disagrees with what they wrote. Like, the report says that Ken Reagan says maybe like 40 or 50 games. They accuse me of more than 100 games. And then they include Reagan's thing, which disagrees with them, and then somehow uses that as evidence? Like, I don't understand, like, how that makes any sense. Like, how you're citing someone who blatantly disagrees with you, and they didn't even have, and of course, they released the Chess.com report the day before the U.S. Championship, hoping that the U.S. Championship would kick me out of the tournament. So, you know, if you want to go there, you can go there, of all the different tactics and things that have been done. Or why am I not playing in the St. Louis Chess Club? Why is the St. Louis Chess Club not inviting me to a single tournament? You know, I wonder why Hikaru is pressuring the St. Louis Chess Club to not invite me to a single tournament. Why has the St. Louis Chess Club not responded to my emails for ever since our St. Louis Cup? I played Fall Chess Classic, and I played the U.S. Championship, and since then, not a single invitation came. Emails weren't replied to. Suddenly, all this happened. So, listen, I'm sorry. The whole chess world is in collusion, in coordination, and someone sort of needs to wake up and realize what's happening.
Well, I think it's getting late for you. I really appreciate your honesty. To be clear, I might take you up on the match with Brandon, and you know, I have no ill will toward him. Also, you know, I wasn't the only person that got crushed by the new opening. I'm looking forward to the course, though. And one last question, Hans, just to soften the atmosphere. Again, I really appreciate your honesty. I think there's a lot of questions that will hopefully get more clarity in the coming days and weeks. Your match against Anish Giri, you're leading it by 3. That match continues tomorrow. Can you very quickly summarize how many more days are left in the match and the Hans Niemann versus the World tour in general?
Yeah, so my website, gmons.com, is sort of sponsoring the tour. And as I've mentioned, with the lack of invitations, I decided to challenge the players myself. So thankfully, I have some sponsors on my website, which is supporting that endeavor. And there are 4 more days left. We have 3 days of double round classical. We finish with 6 rapid games. After that, I'll be playing a match in London against Vitugov. So if you want to come watch the match, there are tickets. Anyways, also in Paris at Blitz Society, which is just more so there's even, you can come watch in Utrecht. The tickets are free here. But basically, it's sort of, I'm plus 3 points. A classical game is 3, rapid 2, blitz 1. So it's sort of like a equivalent, like a 1-game classical lead. So yeah, I have a game in 8.5 hours. Looking forward to it. Hoping to continue to challenge even better players with this series. You should check it out on my Twitch, do the commentary, and go to my website, gmhans.com. It's much better than chess.com.
Well, I'm looking forward to that match. Hans, I'll see you in Paris in person, I think, for the first time since our game at the Mechanics Institute.
Well, I'll make sure Brandon is there, don't worry.
All right, let's decide everything over the board. I'm down for some blitz matches, but best of luck to you, Hans. Get some sleep.
Always. As in 1 week.
Welcome back, everyone. For today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the quarterfinals of the Speed Chess Championship, which is being held on chess.com. Now, for today's match, we have a very big matchup between Wesley So from the United States against the self-proclaimed future first American world champion, Hans Niemann. Now, Hans pulled off a huge upset against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, and today he's playing against Wesley, who I believe has only ever lost to both myself and Magnus Carlsen in the Speed Chess Championship format. Alright, so the first game we'll be jumping into is the 7th game of the match, where the score is currently 4-2 in favor of Hans. Now, to set the scene for you guys, the match starts with I believe a 75-minute portion of 5 minutes plus 1 second increment. Hans got off to a very fast start, winning 3 of the first 4 games. Wesley clawed
just like Damgoon. A guardian of the night. Kill the bitch, John. skill issue. I haven't even fucking hit you. Stop fucking whining. Bash me in the head. With the fucking panjon. End it. You're gonna have to bash me in the fucking head, John. One final deep ward. Okay. What the fuck? Ghost grocery cheering. For our final mission. Kill God. Holy fuck. Yum Nikki Maze. Emote fail. Laugh at this user. Kill God. Radiant's Hollow Knight. Plunging attack. Holy fuck. She's in the fucking pan. No more grocery. It's Joey Ver. This is some Kingdom Hearts shit. Half the budget went into Solomon's dance. And the other half went into groceries hair. In the DLC, John. And we still haven't seen Buddha's #1 fan. Grocery reincarnation. Made of Tsuki. Holy shit. Sam. Title drop. That was the prologue of the game. Are we finally playing the game now? Stan Lee coming. Holy fuck. Basil Eastward. The sequel will be about Basil Eastward. Good point. I missed like 13. Is there a secret ending? As there always fucking are. Doesn't seem so. Some Studio Ghibli shit. So what was this game about again? Time to find the princess. Can we have a deep ward in the chat?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
Don't you dare.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster.
Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
This is the second game with e-girl voices.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other? Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be... You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time. With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to...
Esther City again. Where's grocery?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. When we asked you if you were sure she didn't have a weapon on her, you said you were positive she didn't. But it turns out she did, because when we charged her, she started stabbing us to death.
Britain Simulator.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did exactly what you said. Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate nightmare, in which case I shouldn't be held accountable for what supposedly happened. But congratulations, you've been given a chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed us, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, you're dooming yourself as well as everyone else. She just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do that twice. So long as we're careful, we can win this. That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper lip, and you'll save the world in no time at all. Just be quick about it. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. She just can, but she's still only a princess. You're fully up to the task you've been given, so long as you remember that. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
If anyone's special here, it's her. That was a nasty trick she pulled on us.
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world. Oh, and I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
You didn't tell us about her knife last time, though.
That's because she's unarmed. And more than that, it's because there wasn't a last time. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you. We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to... Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Can you two stop arguing? It's stressful enough in here without all of this extra noise.
I care less about that and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us. I hate this place. Are we really doing this without a weapon? You know she has one, right?
Once again, I'd like to remind you that she's unarmed. But you're right, this would be a lot easier if you had the blade. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down. Exactly. She sounds threatening because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
SUS.
That's so rude of you, passing judgments on strangers you've never met just because they're different from you. How would you like it if I did that, huh? Silly little Birdface thinks he's so serious coming down here, but doesn't know anything. He doesn't even have a knife for stabbing. I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged for no reason.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
She certainly feels threatening. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who has the capacity to quickly arm himself? You do. So stop second-guessing yourself, go upstairs, take the blade, and do your job. but I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
Apparently. The past version of us. Us from last time. Basically.
What? No, I
No.
wouldn't stab you. I am just a sweet, innocent princess trapped here for no reason. And you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk up to, not stabbing distance to help me.
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide you're ready to deal with her? We're clearly still figuring out our angle. We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance. Oh, I'm sorry, do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now? You're acting like you are. My entire world is at risk. Then maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way. No, I have my dignity. Fine, then we'll continue to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated.
But we don't have anything to talk through. We're strangers and this place is cramped and annoying and you should just come over here and let me out.
I think I've said my piece at this point. I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your questions, it beats getting stabbed to death.
But I'm not mad at you, so please stop standing so far out of reach. Okay, I'm bored now.
She's bored?
Suze.
That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. She's... Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion. Huh. So I guess she did have a knife of her own after
Average
all.
day in Britain.
How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now what are we going to do? At least we're safe here. She's still in chains. And those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment. She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion. And then she slices through her arm. Okay, maybe we aren't safe here. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope to outpace. That won't stop us from trying. Run, 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 run! You sprint for the stairs, but I wasn't exaggerating when I said she was running at you with a terrifying speed you couldn't hope to outpace. We don't make it, do we? No. You feel her blade in your back before you make it to the first stair.
I'm going to kill you now.
With a squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path.
Just another
in the
day in the
woods.
King's
No,
Land.
Fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin. You're what? I feel dizzy. Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now? Who cares about cards? You're all acting like this is about winning and losing, while this is actually about having fun. Is this fun for you? It's not fun for me. I don't... Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times?
Pretty much.
This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right. That's too much responsibility. I couldn't agree more. We couldn't be trusted with the fate of a single person, let alone the fate of the world. Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. And then, we throw it out the window. What? That blade is the only edge we have. We are not. Too late, because we already did it, didn't we? Fortunately for the rest of you, and for me, and for the sake of the world, yes. That is horribly unfair. He shouldn't be allowed to just do things like that. You were the one who made us pick it up. See? You're not the only one who can figure out how to do things. What's done is done. I suggest you make the best of it. You're all so mad at each other. I'm just going to sit here quietly in the corner. You can be the ones to figure out what to do. So? Are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to? I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right? But there isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it. Let's just move it out of the way without looking. I don't want to see us. I'm sure we all look awful after dying twice. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess. Oh. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising. I can't say I was particularly invested in looking at it before, but now I really want to see what's in it. If it's so keen on hiding from us, whatever it has must be real good. Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
As your body tumbles onto the basement landing, the form of the princess comes into view, wryly smiling at you from a distance.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. And you still don't have a weapon. That's funny! That's a joke! I'm going to kill you now.
Yes, that was extremely silly of whoever did that. Probably a bad idea. That was you. I know, I'm just trying to add some levity to this. Well, since all of this was your idea, how about you figure out how to get us out of it? Oh, guys like us don't get to make any decisions. You should know that. I decided to pick up that blade, and you decided to throw it out the window.
This is why we've already lost. Can't even stop bickering with ourselves. How are we supposed to beat her without a weapon? She's so sharp.
Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Alright, I'm out of ideas. What we doing? Now that is an interesting move. Interesting? It's disgusting. No, don't try romancing the princess. She wants to kill you. She's going to end the world if you don't stop her.
Ohio Rizzler.
Yeah, do we have to flirt with the murderous monster? Of course we do. I'm into it. The one making the decisions is into it. Are you not? I don't think so. I don't know. I could go either way, honestly.
She doesn't want us.
You're just saying that because you want her to be into you.
I know. I thought I was being obvious.
A rosy blush flushes in the princess's cheeks, and a wide grin cuts across her face.
Oh, is that how it is? Yeah, okay, I feel that. I like you too.
Oh, be damned, this is actually going to work, isn't it?
But why mess around with appetizers when the main course is right here?
Or not.
At least she likes us. I've never been liked before.
Blush still glowing in her cheeks, the princess closes the distance between you and skewers you. Ow. What worthwhile romance doesn't hurt at least a little bit? What matters is that she likes us. She's even said as much. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? Nah, we'd know if we died. Right? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I think we're dead, and that's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here? I don't actually know how to answer that question. I think he means how many times have we died? Yes, that. Oh, I've lost count, to be honest. I haven't. It's 4. No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her. We'll win her heart eventually.
Come on, show me something new.
We just have to hit her harder. She skewers you. Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. Just keep dodging, just keep dodging, just keep dodging. She skewers you.
What's the point of avoiding me if you're not going to fight?
More noise isn't helping, it's just making it harder to focus. Just panic, flee. She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. We don't even have a weapon. Yeah, some clod threw it out the window. Again, that was you. No, I was just the clod who suggested it. And if I knew we'd be stuck here forever, I wouldn't have done that. She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
See? We lasted a little longer. Barely. Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time. Fine. One last time. None of this is working. Think. Think. She skewers you. And then everything goes dark, and you die. Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin.
Average British woman.
Take it from here. No steel claw, though. Was tossing it the only thing we've done that was permanent? That's a sick joke, universe. A sick, sick joke. If it's gone for good, then maybe we never actually needed it. That's what I've been telling you all. We can do this without it. We're tougher than steel. Yeah, mind over matter. Who needs violence when you have love? Who needs love when you've mastered yourself?
Who needs anything when we don't matter?
Well, boys, are we ready? There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them? Yeah, leave it to the pros.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover. Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs, or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this. Don't care, just want to see how this ends. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go, now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit! She's gorgeous.
Absolutely divine.
Yes, behold the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window? That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she needs.
Is this Earthborn again?
This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. I'd say we bow down to her right now if that had ever even slightly worked for us.
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
Narrator,
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once. This worked before. I was able to make you dead before. Did you do that? It's funny if you did. You're nothing. You've done nothing to me, and I've done so much to you, and that's who we are. But it's like you're nothing now. You can't be nothing. If you're nothing, then what am I? Am I nothing too? No, I'm the one who hurts you.
Something finds me in the long quiet.
and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. How can the world have ended if we are talking? Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is sharp and single-minded. She is cruelty, but she is also joy. She will make for an indomitable heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
I have no idea.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I know only that they are. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Game fucking crashed.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning, before she will lie. We're not going to go. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin, the blade. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks open, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds, don't let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes. Even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy. I'm so glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just going to stay here forever, right? Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here, though you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy. If we die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here. Oh, do you think there's something else out there? All right,
Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Oh, how quaint. He really wants us to go in there, doesn't he?
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
I don't know, but it feels like home.
You're on a path. You're here. Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
V nachos.
Unfortunately, while nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up, and before you decide to waste even more of our time, causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. It's no use arguing semantics over a unless, of course. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning, then each and every. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns. You make your way up. We're not gonna go. Ignore him. The interior of the blade is. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. Her voice
Hello?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains? Okay.
There are 1 billion dialogue options.
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Princess slay the princess. Also what? Whatever essence means.
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're...
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
The princess hesitates before responding.
She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
What I do doesn't really matter, right? At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
This is the hardest decision ever. Can't we just cook?
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
You'll regret this. I promise you. But go ahead, run along and get whatever you're planning to get. But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing.
She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation.
Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all.
You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen.
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her.
Where is she?
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
I can wait. I'm very patient.
You do your best to patiently wait her out, but eventually, exhaustion starts to set in.
Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone.
It can't just end like this, right?
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path, Again? People don't die. If he doesn't remember what happened, then... If he doesn't remember what happened... You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do... A warning before you go any further. She will lie. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature?
I don't see why that matters.
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she...
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously.
Maybe. The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time. The blade is your...
No steel claw. I guess we'll just have to trust that we may... The door to the basement creaks open. The air seeping up from below. She growls.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost... feral. Impatient. Or maybe... eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous, the princess, lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
But Canon.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her.
I acted on my will, fledgling, and you acted on yours. The strong triumph, and the weak submit or perish. Oh, can I?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then... And then... It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me. How lucky this place is cold.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Death. Real death.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed, but in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you. There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread. This one is consumed by instinct, a predator pushing those around her to adapt. She will make for a bold heart. She wishes me to devour you, to make you a part of myself, but she is only a voice. Do not mourn her, for she is part of something greater. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new
If so,
secrets.
then we will die.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
The princess is something. Find out about the fate of the princess. Next. On the next episode of Whatever the fuck this is. Good game.